Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of No Holds Barred. For those of you who've not seen any of these previously, be watching live on Twitch as I'm recording this, or be you in the YouTube archive and stumbled across this video. This is our sort of bookend. This is where we wrap up our thoughts at the end of a journey, and what a journey this one has been. This one has been Yakuza 3 Remastered. I know I've just mixed the audio tracks there, that's going to sound awful. But anyway, we have just finished our 100% run of Yakuza 3 Remastered, the continuation of our Yakuza franchise run. We have so far, to date, platinumed Yakuza 0, 100%ed Yakuza Kiwami 1, platinumed Yakuza Kiwami 2, and 100%ed Yakuza Kiwami 3, soon to be Yakuza, no, not Kiwami 3, Yakuza 3 Remastered. I'll get onto that point in a minute. But yes, so, what a game. Actually, I'll get onto that point right now. From the earliest points of this game all the way up to the end, I have maintained, and I will always maintain, this game should have been Yakuza Kiwami 3. The story is absolutely phenomenal. I love this story. It had so many fantastic beats. Oh, this will be brutal. Oh, chat is spoiling things for us. But yes, the story had some fantastic beats. This should have been Yakuza Kiwami 3. It just should have. It should have been fully remastered, remade even, in the Dragon engine, like Kiwami 2. I'd even have taken the the engine variant they used for Yakuza 0 to make this game. Instead, what we have is a remaster. They've tidied up the cutscenes and the graphics. There's no denying that. The gameplay, however, still very much feels like it's stuck in the early years of the PlayStation 3. In particular, some of the things I've gotten used to, it was a bit of a whiplash coming from the refined aspects of the Dragon engine coming back to a very early build of the Yakuza 0 engine. I have no idea what the official name for that engine is, but we'll call it the Yakuza 0 engine for the moment. But it definitely, well, I suppose it'd be the Yakuza 3 engine, but the variant they're using, I think you've got what I mean. I hope you've got what I mean. But anyway, yes, they could have used, they should have, I would have taken that. But instead we have gameplay as it was. So, getting past the animations and stuff, you can easily get a bit of a whiplash from going to an earlier generation game. It's nothing serious. It's like going back to Halo Combat Evolved after playing Halo Infinite. 2 games I've been playing at the moment, to be honest. But the problem is the enemy AI and the combat system. And unfortunately, Yakuza very much relies on its combat system. The enemy AI seems, not dumb, as very cheap. So, where in previous Yakuza games you can wail on an enemy, and that's fine, and sometimes you have to change up your playstyle. Here, you hit them a couple of times and they go into an infinite guard. That's it. You can't even get a full combo off half the time because the enemy will just guard continuously and your punches do nothing. Really annoying in terms of using weapons as well. Heat actions kind of break them, but at the same time it still gets very janky because they can do the stupid guarding blocking motion. So yes, there's that. The Colosseum in particular was great fun because of this, especially in the tag team matches where you got really strong opponents who could wipe the floor with you very easily, but you could barely lay a hand on them because they're continuously blocking. This is something that has really pissed me off throughout this entire run. Mentioning AI and things that have pissed me off, in terms of the completion list, finishing all of the mini-games, some were actually really good. Box Cells, for example, has gone in as one of my favourite mini-games. It's just such a graphically beautiful game. I really enjoyed it. But then you have the pool. And the pool, in the earlier AI, fine. You get good. The AI towards the end of the pool, the expert, and if you can check our entire journey here on the YouTube channel to see where we went through with that game. Pool on expert is exceedingly cheap. They will make 2 mistakes. That's it. You make a mistake, and then it is just all on the AI, and they just go pop, 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 and that's that. They make a stupid mistake, and it is a mistake that you know the AI has made on purpose because it's playing so perfectly, and then it just does this random mistake just to give you, the player, a chance to get in and to make use of it. Add in the fact that all of the systems and it's This has been the most frustrating Yakuza I have 100%ed so far. We have played 4 of them so far. This goes in as the most infuriating to 100%. The completion list required weapon mods. That's fine. I can live with that. We did that in Yakuza 0. And then they go and say, oh, by the way, to get some of these weapon mods, you need to go off to the Coliseum and grind. And it's just, oh, thank you. So you tell me I have to go and grind out of a broken combat system in the Coliseum. Oh, joy. That rant off my chest. It's not... It works. I would say it's skewed to the unfair, but I can't say it doesn't work. I've beaten the game. I've 100%ed the game under the combat system. The combat system works. It is just really, really rough around the edges. Hence why I say this should have been Kiwami free. Maybe I'll change my tune when I get to Yakuza 4, but something tells me that will not be the case. Karaoke as well, by the way. But I know karaoke in Yakuza has quite a bit of a fan base. The karaoke in Yakuza 3 very much feels like a prototype of the karaoke system. Apparently, this is the first game to use this particular style, so I can see why they went for a remaster instead of a full-blown remake, because Yakuza 1 and 2 traditionally were in a different game style to what we got in Kiwami and Kiwami 2. But still, it wouldn't... I still maintain... I still think there should have been Kiwami 3. Yes, it's the same game style, but at the same time, you had the chance to make a trilogy of this. It would have been amazing to have the Kiwami trilogy, because you start with Kiwami, with Kiryu, you see the beginning of Kiryu, well, not the beginning, you see it in 0, but you get what I mean. You see Yakuza 1, Kiryu story, then we have 2, and then 3 could have end capped it, with Kiryu going off and running the orphanage, and it would have been fine. That would have been a nice trio of games. But instead, we've got this weird hodgepodge of now we've got Kiwami 1, Kiwami 2, and then the other 3 are all remasters, so we'll see. Like I said, maybe I'll change my tone after I play Yakuza 4 Remastered. Enough about me ranting about the gameplay. What does the game do good? Well, the game works. That's it, really. It's just... I know a lot of it is whiplash from me coming from modern games, going back about a decade to something earlier. It works. If I judge this by the standards of the time, it's fine. They could have streamlined a lot of the mechanics, but hindsight's always 20/20. It works. That's all I can say. I can't claim it as a brilliant game, a masterpiece in game design. I can't. I just can't. But I couldn't do that about any game. Even Kiwami 2, which I have gone on record as saying is my favourite Yakuza to date. I can't say it's a perfect game, because it isn't. There's things wrong with that game, as there's plenty of... It's just less things are wrong with it than wrong with this game. But I wouldn't recommend 100% of this game. Not any day of the week. If you're going to play it, play the story. The story is fantastic. The sub-stories, as always, are phenomenal. I don't like the fact that you can fail sub-stories. You get a star if you do get the best ending and a tick if you get the worst ending. That seems like they kind of didn't... It's a it feels like a half-hearted effort on that. There were like 2, maybe 3 sub-stories that made it obvious that you could fail, but for the majority of them it was basically you completed it, off you go. Mentioning that, onto the sound design. Soundtrack, a banger as always. I love the soundtrack in this game. You can tell it's an early game though, considering all the things that you don't notice these things until you go from something like Kiwami 2 to Yakuza 3. But there are certain sound bits that you miss, like the little guitar riff that plays at the end of the sub-stories as Kiryu looks off into the distance. That doesn't happen anymore, or that doesn't happen in this game. No music in the Mahjong, so you get reach, you don't get the fancy upbeat music to say you're nearly going to win, let's hope for this, you just get just silence. The entire Mahjong match is in silence pretty much, apart from the clacking of towels. That's aesthetically, I suppose it works, but for the most part, I definitely missed the sound on that front. I think the same for Shogi, though I could be wrong. And yeah, sound design's fine, character voice acting, phenomenal as always. I still love the cast. I apologise to them for my dodgy voice acting overlaying everything, but hey, there we go. I already mentioned the story, graphics, it's fine. Graphics are fine for the time, but well, it certainly seems a bit blockier than it should be, but the high quality, they've got it to sort of HD standard-ish, so I can't complain too much. And in fairness, I'm not going to judge a game solely on how pretty it is. It's a game. If I wanted something pretty, I look at fan art of waifus, not at video games, because the core of the game is the gameplay. And we've already done the full rant about my thoughts on the gameplay. But anyway, Shogi's been the same as Zero, Kwami, and Kwami 2. Okay, fair enough, so Shogi hasn't changed at all. That's fine. Different puzzles, however. Fair enough. Never going to be a Yakuza Kwami 3? Yep, I know. But, sorry, I'm also talking to chat. Anyway, with that said, I think I've ranted long enough on this one. So would I recommend buying this game? Yes. Would I recommend playing this game? Yes. Would I recommend finishing the story? Yes. Would I recommend 100%ing it? No. A million times no. Unless you were a masochist like me, or so I've been told, I really would not recommend trying to 100% this game. Even getting over OP doesn't quite work because of the leveling system. I can see what they were thinking. It's the old school leveling system where you can't get to max level. Well, you can get to max level if you grind, but most of the time you can't get to max level through just the story alone. You have to either go off and play New Game Plus or something else. The sad thing is, it gets you tantalizingly close. You do every single sub-story, everything in the completion list, it gets you so close to that 100% to maxing out Kiryu, but just not enough. Is what it is. But anyway, those are my thoughts on Yakuza 3 Remastered. As ranting and off the wall as they are, but there we go. So, hopefully I've given you some idea of the joys of this game. Hopefully I haven't put you off entirely. Seriously, I can't say don't play this game, because I can't. The story alone is worth it. The gameplay, if you play on a lower difficulty, might not be too egregious, or you could just do what I do and find, if you work out, you can just grab somebody and smack them to a wall. Or once you've unlocked the Tiger Drop, just Tiger Drop everyone. That's it. Bang. Tiger Drop's OP in this game again. Gotta love it. But anyway, that's my rant over. That's my thoughts on this game kind of over. As always, if you have any questions, if you want to pick my brains about anything else to do with Yakuza 3 or Remastered, or Yakuza 3 I suppose in general, or Yakuza in general, or any of the games we've ever been journeyed through on this channel, feel free to join me. Twitch.tv/GuardEzio, or ping a comment down below. Hit the like if you feel like it, please. But anyway, yes, with that said, I shall leave that here, and may you all have a beautiful evening, morning, or afternoon, wherever it is around this whole wide world you are. And as always, until our paths next cross again, the vortex awaits, and I'll see you all next time.